All right, welcome to round number 5. Let's see if we can get a pretend 5-0. Since it's a league, one league and another league, but that's all right. This hand is not good. In case you were unawares, we will mulligan it. We are on the draw here. Slow hand. Probably a keep blind, especially on the draw. I'm going to scry this to the bottom. There's no real way to know if that's any good blind or if I'm going to find the third land. And I would like to be greedy and try to find a 1-drop, whether that be Vial or Hierarch or Champion. Opponent on Gemstone Mine for red. So Gemstone Mine is like Ad Nauseam, potentially Amulet. Ancient Stirrings looks like Amulet. Could potentially have been a weirder version or a different version of a Dredge mana base, but it is in fact Amulet, and we did find that 1-drop that we aggressively scried towards, so that's good. We'll get this out there. Depending on my opponent's lists, so a lot of recent lists have swapped out the Relic Genesis for Dismembers, but depending on my opponent's list, I'm not convinced they can beat Meddling Mage on Titan game 1 without jumping through a lot of hoops. Involving, like, you know, pumping their mediocre creatures. So I will likely be interested in slamming Meddling Mage and naming Prime Time. I guess, what am I saying? They have explosives. Also, they have the Ballista. Totally way off base. They have all kinds of answers to this Meddling Mage. Also, explosives is going to be insane in this matchup, so it's going to be an issue. Alright, so hopefully we draw a 1-drop and go like 1-drop Freebooter. I guess we could just Meddling Mage explosives and hope they don't have it, but if we get to freeboot first and potentially take an explosives, then we could Meddling Mage, Prime Time, maybe find a different way to deal with the Ballista. Play T-West, you got it. Alright, human please. Yeah, I think I just want the info here. I mean, it's possible my opponent has like Azusa Titan, bounce land, and this doesn't do anything against that. Maybe I do just name this to force my opponent to jump through some hoops first. Maybe they transmute for Engineered Explosives, don't use it right away, and then I get to freeboot it. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna name Titan. Be conservative here. Thinking that Meddling Mage would do it against Amulet. What was I thinking? Amulet's better than that. They have answers. Engineering Explosives is great. Getcha. The power of Taliaferro on full display. Unfortunately, if they go for a Ballista, I can't freeboot the Ballista. The good news about that would be I could try and grow my Meddling Mage to a size that would not be Ballista reachable anytime soon unless my opponent had Azusa bounce land. Colony Garden, free plant. Plants are great. Oracle of Moldiah. I've never played with an Oracle of Moldiah in my deck, but that sounds sweet. I've played with Courser and Amulet before, but I've never played with Oracle before. So I'd really like to draw land. Kinda want to play 2/2-drops. No. Mantis Rider. That's a lot worse. Don't know that I want to Mantis Rider here. I mean, it's possible that Freebooter's just whiffing anyway, but Honestly, I don't want to trade this for this, so this would only really be getting in for 1 more damage, so that's not even very exciting for me right now. I think I just attack with this and play freebooter. Hope to draw land again. Just try to be as disruptive as possible. It's unfortunate that I'm not really increasing my clock very much. But plant jumps in the way, yep. So they could have been at 15, still had a plant. If we played this turn differently, but... Let's see what's over there. Probably nothing, but... Yeah, prime time, bounce line, bounce line. So at least we've got the info now. Let's dismiss these so we don't get the double reveal. Put that there for now. And pass the turn. Opponent does have the T-West. And they have enough to either... They drew an Ancient Stirrings. They have enough to either transmute for explosives, play explosives onto, or transmute for ballista, play ballista onto. This is not looking good. I needed them to do it like half and half so that I could actually freeboot it. Or like not have Titan, I guess. I don't really see us winning this game. I guess I could draw another meddling mage off the top. No, they'll still just pop at EOT. There's no reason really for them not to. Leading on Stirrings. Well, that puts them down to 6 mana, which is not enough to do the line I described. I'm surprised to see that play. Oh, they have Oracle of Moldiah. They have more mana than I'm describing. I take it back. I forgot that Oracle of Moldiah has, you know, text. So they actually have 9 mana, now down to 8 mana, which is still enough to transmute, go down to 5. Yeah, they're going to float that. And they still have a land drop. Yeah, Oracle's just going to be nuts here. So they transmute, have 3 plus a land drop, so 5. Plenty to explosives plus pop explosives. They also will probably just play this instead of go up to 5 mana, just have the 4 mana, since that's enough to play explosives and have the mana to pop it. Play explosives off of this and just leave mine. And they won't pop till my end step, assumedly. So I won't be able to draw a meddling mage even. Yep. I have another T-West in hand. So they still have all of these, I believe. They might have one less Simic Growth Chamber. Getting in. Guess I could block with Freebooter, but I kind of want to bait them to doing it in combat, right? In case I draw the thing. But I did not draw the thing, so we are quite dead. How do I win this game? I guess that didn't matter either. I might as well just have jump blocked because I'm going to be bashing for 3 with the Noble Hierarch. But I guess I drew this, so... Or had this, so I could want to do that instead, rather. And I guess I do. I guess I do. I mean, it just doesn't matter at this point. We're going to get ran over by a Titan. I actually played this matchup from the other side this past weekend. Where I got game 1 handily, but... from the Amulet side, but lost the following games. But game 3, I had a particularly bad draw. I think I mulled to 4 and never made a second. No, actually, I kept mulled 4 a different game. I kept 6 that time. Ended up losing with only 1 land. never found a second land. It was a really close 6. It was like had multiple explosives, a land, and multiple stirrings. So I just needed to find another land and get out of it with the stirrings. It was like Taliaferro West was my land. It wasn't green producing. It wasn't a bounce land. Otherwise, I don't think I would have been able to keep. But kept it because of the power of explosives and because it's tough, I think, for me to beat the humans deck on 5 with Amulet. But all right, so I assume opponent going to tighten the crap out of us. I think they would be planning their turn out here, but they probably just go for... I mean, I'm leaving up white mana, so maybe they think they want to play around path, but I assume they've probably seen the expected deck list that is Colin's deck list, and that has no paths in it, so they're free to go. Meaning they would get Boros Reckoner, or excuse me, Boros Reckoner, what? Slayer Stronghold. That's a different white-red thing. That is an interesting card to jump to my head, but Slayer Stronghold. Oh, I guess because I was gonna say Boros Guildgate. Or Guildgate, jeez. I'm having a hard time. Garrison. Boros Garrison. We did it. But they don't need to grab the Boros Garrison, which is a great part, since they have 2 gemstone mines. So they definitely get Slayer Stronghold, but they could potentially get something else. They only have 1 amulet, so they're not going to go totally nuts here, and they shouldn't be able to kill me. Since I have even some toughness to throw in front of this. They can't, like, double activate Slayer Stronghold into Vesuva. Sunhome. I need to wake up, man. Into Sunhome, but that wouldn't be lethal anyway. So they do grab the Boros Garrison nonetheless. Activate on their Titan. Probably bounce the Stronghold since they haven't used their mines. I think it was better to use the mines there, but it doesn't really matter. Especially if they're going to use the mines anyway. I also think they just explored into a land that they could have played off the top, but it really just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They could play like Growth Chamber here to ensure that they have the mana to Sunhome if they want a Sunhome, but I'm not even sure what Sunhoming really does for them here. They might as well just have me take 8 and then grab like another Explosives or grab Pact or Ballista or something exciting off of a T-West. I don't really know how they would lose this game, so I don't know what I would grab if I was in their seat, but probably Explosives. I don't really think I would grab a Blue Pact. But they already have a T-West in their hand, so they can just grab like another T-West here. I guess if they grab Explosives, it just gets freebooted, or if they grab a Pact, it could get freebooted. But obviously if they have the backup T-West. Or, no, they've already been through an Explosives, and this is game 1, so they certainly don't have another Explosives. Some lists don't even have another Explosives. So maybe they just grab Blue Pact. Like, grab another T-West, grab a land, sure, gain some life. Why not? Especially because they have Growth Chamber in their hand. 1 Growth Chamber in their hand, I believe. I'm not going to block here. So they can bounce Radiant Fountain, replay Radiant Fountain, transmute one of their T-Wests. Or they can just bounce the T-West, sure. So now they have 2 T-Wests in their hand, I believe. Play Sunhome, sure. Get Blue Pact? No, get a Summoner's Pact. Okay. We'll freeboot and see if you Summoner's Pact in response, I guess. Should be pretty trivial to kill me here, but we'll certainly let our opponent do it. Oh, they already had blue pact. Nice. Take green pact, I guess. Not that that matters, because they have a T-West in their hand, but it's not like they've been through all their green packs. That was the first one. Get you for 4. Pow. 5, excuse me. The damages. At least we can say we attacked with a Mantis Rider. So we have 8 points of toughness. Unfortunately, our opponent can transmute for another Summoner's Pact, play Summoner's Pact, play Titan, play Slayer's Stronghold, Slayer's Stronghold the Titan. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they tap their non-Gemstone Mines, Boros Garrison, and Sunhome lands. Play Titan. Play Slayer Stronghold, use the Boros Garrison. Play a different land if they have it. Colony Garden, I guess. I guess they don't even need to play the other land because of this Titan trigger, so they just get like... It doesn't really matter as long as it activates Sunhome, so they can Vesuva their Sunhome. Yeah, those will do the job. Bounce the Sunhome, sure. Doesn't really matter since they have 2 land plays, I guess. So now they can double strike their other Titan as well. With not even Vesuva, but just a bounce land of any variety, or like 2 Gemstone Mines, or 2 whatevers. Sure, so they get a Selesnya Sanctuary and a Gemstone Mine, bounce whatever they want. Oh, they have a bunch of Selesnya Sanctuaries in their deck. Didn't they draw one for turn 2? How interesting. That's good to know, I guess. Wonder if they're just on less Gruul turfs or what. Get your Oracle on the way out. That's interesting. All right. We want our Renegades. Aethersworn Canonist, I guess, is good against Summoner's Pact. Necromancer could potentially be good against the Explosives plan. I guess we probably want those. I don't really want... I guess Reflector Mage is pretty annoying. Since they're most of the time not killing me with just 1 Titan, Reflector Maging it can be a huge, huge pain. Thalia does not do work against the Amulet deck. Since things enter tapped due to Thalia and then untap due to Amulet. So it is not good. Mayor of Everbrook can potentially bite it to make room for these more interactive things. Also potentially a Mantis Rider. 4th Reflector Mage might be the right call here. I've been pretty annoyed from the Amulet deck, especially post-board games even. Like, you have a little bit more threat. Your threat diversity is higher in post-board games, but like, you're often slower because there's more interaction. And just getting Reflector Mage, getting a primetime Reflector Mage can be enough time for these beatdown decks. So I think I will actually board that in and then maybe go out 2 Mantis Riders. That might be giving up too much beatdown power, but it's not like I'm siding out any of the rest of these, and I think the ones we've sided in are worth it. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to try this. That might be too much. Too much interaction, not enough beatdown. Like the Necromancers would be the card that's potentially over the line, right? Potentially into over sideboarding. So my opponent may have like 2 Dismembers, but other than that, they're going to be like particularly light on removal, other than like Kozilek's Return. So we can probably get away with keeping this hand. Our Noble Hierarch is not going to die. And then I could either hope to draw land into like Champion Freeboot to take like a Kozilek's Return. This hand just has a lot of what I want. It's got some aggressive beatdown parts and then Meddling Mage plus Freebooter to buy me some time, but... And if we just draw a land, the hand's just insane. So I think it's functional on 1 land, insane on 2. I'll keep. Obviously a little riskier on the play. And I could see this being just a solid mulligan. Obviously if we draw Vial, we can't really cast it either. I mean, we can cast it off our Noble Hierarch, but... And if our opponent just has Dismember, I guess our hand's like borderline just not functional. But again, they're not going to have a lot of Dismembers if they have them at all. So, all right, did draw the land. Hand's insane. Champion Freebooter, I think, is the play. Lose a counter off this champion for doing it this way, but next time we can go Champion Meddling Mage. Ooh, they have Fire Spout. That's a throwback. Kind of an older list. Fire Spout. They also have a slower hand. I guess I just take the Fire Spout. I mean, I'm potentially going to grow past these things pretty quickly, but yeah, this is fine. This kind of hand for my opponent definitely seems like one we can combat pretty well. Not casting Sakura Tribe Scout or starting still turn 3 is going to be pretty slow on the draw. That's a good one too. Probably do that over Meddling Mage or Thalia's Lieutenant this turn. I guess Thalia's Lieutenant would be the largest beatdown plan. That would have me getting in for 7. I'll just reboot again then. Taking Stirrings is a fine prize, or Summoner's Pact a finer prize yet. So dismiss this. Alright. I guess I just take... I mean, the advantage of taking the Stirrings is that it puts them farther away from finding an Amulet. Or an Explosives, I guess. So yeah, I just take the Stirrings. Go to the beatdown step. Get in for my 5. And then next turn we can get in for... I guess I should have just attacked with the champion. It's all the same. Next turn I can get in for... Let's see here. 6, 7, 8, 9... 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that sounds good. It's like I planned it that way, except just didn't. Probably should have counted that before I decided to play Freebooter over Meddling Mage. Because if it had been 14, if it had been 1 short, and because I didn't play the Meddling Mage, that would be pretty lame. I guess if I draw land, it's also more damage to cast both Thalia's Lieutenant and Meddling Mage, but... Also, my opponent's going to theoretically play Tribe Scout this turn, so I won't actually have lethal. Ooh, are they going to go for the Azusa? So this is fine. I mean, they're going to have to spend their... Oh, they have Basic Forest. Okay, Basic Forest is pretty good there. What do I think they have in their hand that they don't? Oh, the Sunhome, I guess? Return Basic Forest. They still have a land play, right? No? Oh, yeah, okay. So we drew a land, so I can play both of these things. They have to pay for their pact next turn, so... Shouldn't really matter. Guess I'd rather have a larger meddling mage. Shall we start with that? I guess they could have Pyroclasm plus an untapped land, untapped red source like Gemstone Mine. I do have one mystery card. I guess it would be nice to know how they were going to block first, but I do need to play this first. Yeah. I guess I name Pyroclasm. Well, let me figure out how they're going to block here. So I play Thalia's Lieutenant. Do they have to block both champions? It's 4 in the air. They only have to block one champion. So they get to keep Zeusa. But they only have one card. So they pay for Pact, leave up Sunhome, draw. They have 2 mystery cards and a T-West. I just can't think of anything that could be relevant other than Pyroclasm, because the other thing requires them to have untapped land, Fire Spout. And they're dying next turn, right? I guess I should make sure they're dying next turn, or maybe they can cast a creature off that mana. And then I should just be naming Primeval Titan. I guess Pyroclasm, well, it gives them their Fire Spout back. Pyroclasm's probably unlikely and doesn't get them anything. Maybe I should just name Titan in case something goes wrong. Yeah, I guess. Or Engineered Explosives in case something goes wrong and they're able to survive and transmute another turn. That requires them to survive 2 turns, though. Walking Ballista? Doesn't matter either. I'm struggling to find something that they can do to survive. I guess I'm just going to say Engineered Explosives. So they only have to block this. They can take 9. They pay for their pact. Since we know they have T-West, they can't have untapped land Fire Spout. And even if they did, they wouldn't quite die, actually, yeah. So that would do it, but... Oh, no, because they'd have to tap this. Be untapped land, tap this, because they kept this instead of Azusa. Anyway, I wonder if I should have Static Casters in to kill those. Probably not. I think it's too slow at doing that job. It kills plants, though, also. I feel like that's too much. I already have the Reflectors that do that job also, and I don't think this is better than Reflector since it doesn't have power and toughness and doesn't interact with Titans, so... I guess the Fiend Hunters could potentially be better than Reflectors. It's not like they're going to bounce my Fiend Hunters. They pretty much have to Explosives them. They're often not going to be Explosivesing on 3, and that's a lot harder for them. I mean, it's not hard for them to do, but it's more annoying for them to do. They also have less power. Not really harder to cast, though. They're just not harder to cast. Since all of our lands cast Fiend Hunter, all of our lands make white. Maybe that's better. I mean, I could go max interaction. I think that's too much. I'd rather leave those in. Maybe this. No, this is way better. Because if they have multiple, yeah, no, Reflector Mage is way better. What am I saying? Because that's the part that's so annoying, right? Like they can produce another Titan, but they can't cast it. I guess they might side in. They probably have a Hornet Queen, right? That's argument for Static Caster. So maybe I'm supposed to have one Static Caster. Got the Ziggurat Vial hand. It's too bad. This hand looks really good otherwise. I think it's too risky to keep though, even on the draw here. I'd rather go to 6. This hand is better. Not a lot of disruption, but hopefully we can find some more. Freebooter, I think I have to keep it because it's any amount of disruption. Opponent's on 6 here. No, they're on 7. Excuse me. Human. Lead on Vial. All right, Growth Chamber. It's a good start for our opponent. Leading on Scout and having it not interacted with is always nice, especially into Bounce Land. So we're going to tick this up. Thalia's Lieutenant. Yes, please. Why is my time ticking down right now? Magic Online, are you okay? All right. Weird. I was thinking I was going to have to reopen Magic Online, but I guess I'm lucky I do not. That was weird. All right, freeboot ya. Are they gonna like dismember my freebooter with the trigger on the stack? It's my best guess from this spot. Maybe they're pausing to double check to see if that works the way they want. Also, my best guess at what this break-in time is, unless Moto's having a hard time again. Always possible. All right. Freebooter resolves. I still suspect dismember here. Okay, they have a dismember, but they do not use it. So, I mean, I guess I just have to, well, cost them 4 life. So that way if they've elected not to do it, they assume I'm going to take it, and it's going to cost them, well, I still want to attack with this champion. No, I don't. What am I saying? I filed that in. Okay, it's like been so long. I guess the problem is if I let them keep this Summoner's Pact, does that accelerate their Titan any? No, not really. Because getting Azusa doesn't accelerate their Titan here. Since they just have to pay for their Pact when they're Titaning 2 turns anyway. Summoner's Pact might let them get bees, though. I guess I just take this member because I have the other freebooter, but... this might be a tough one for us. If they rip Amulet, I'll die. Because I didn't take the Summoner's Pact, but I feel like that's a weird reason to take it. It's interesting how this turn we're going to get the option to freeboot draw step, but we actually don't want to. Because we want to take the pact or force them to pact now. So I guess I freeboot right now. And then Thalia's Lieutenant. That's kind of funny. We have the privilege of freebooting draw step, but that's actively bad because then they can just freeboot, or then they can just Summoner's Pact in response and not have to pay for it till the following turn. They drew a Fire Spout. Jeez, that's annoying. Oh, that's so good. Why did they not Fire Spout? That seems so greedy. Also, they can't Titan me next turn. Yes, they can. Oh, that's why they didn't Fire Spout. Because they needed their Sakura Tribe Scout alive to be able to Titan me next turn. I get you. So I guess I just take the Fire Spout. Tick my Vial up to 3 and hope to draw Reflector Mage. So they go Violent, Gemstone Mine, Float, play Bounce Land, Bounce Gemstone Mine. I keep saying Vial, but Tribe Scout in. Gemstone Mine, that's 6 mana, Titan. So they can't Hornet Queen me from that. Unless they draw... no, they can't. Alright, so we're going to take the Fire Spout. Yes, please. Get in for as much as we can. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game to win. So they have one mystery card. Oh no. Oh, they're just floating. Yeah, okay, good. I was like, did they draw Amulet here? I guess it wouldn't really change much. Other than give them the ability to Hornet Queen, I guess, which would be worse for me, I think. There's the Titan. So they have Summoner's Pact mystery card. See what lands they get here. I guess taking this up to 3 prohibits me from casting both of these unless I draw a land, so I should consider that. Or prohibits me from getting both of these into play, I should say. Let's assume this gets blocked. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we'd almost kill our opponent if we got both the Thalia's Lieutenant and the Noble Hierarch into play. I wonder if that means I don't tick it up to 3. Oh, they got a plant. Okay. So with plant, even if I got another Thalia's Lieutenant or Mayor, I wouldn't kill my opponent, obviously, right? They get to block that and that. So we'd only get through in the air. Thalia's Lieutenant would not add nearly enough. We could only get in for a maximum of 8. So, yeah, I'm going to take this up to 3 and hope to draw Reflector Mage. Ancient Ziggurat does not do the job. Alright, so we're dead. Man, tough. I can't even get the pretend 5-0. We ended on stream with, let's see, we played 3 leagues, including the one that I finished. 4-1, 4-1, and a 1-3. Very exciting 1-3. Both 4-1s were 4-0s into 4-1s as well. But guess I don't bash with this. This gets plant blocked, so this just gets Titan blocked. So, yep. I assume our opponent will just produce an explosives next turn that we can't deal with. And explosives for 2 will just be game. I guess I also could have drawn... That wouldn't have made a difference, yeah. Yep. Freebooter alone, just not enough disruption here, I guess. And that's like sort of one of the holes with this deck, is that you can't deal with like problematic creatures. So like, obviously it's particularly important against this deck to kill their Tribe Scouts and Azusa's early, and we just have no ability to do that. Dismember somewhere in the 75 would help in that regard, but may not be worth it anyway. So they bounce the T-West, so they're gonna I mean, they have a Summoner's Pact though anyway, it just doesn't matter, but I might as well kill this, right? They could have Sunhome in their hand. Do I know they have Sunhome in their hand? Whoops. Last game they led on Sunhome, but that wasn't this game. Right. Okay. Yeah, since we assume we're just going to engineer explosives anyway, this is the best thing to do. Our opponent obviously leaves a 2-drop alive. They grab explosives, cast explosives for 2. Yep. I mean, I still have this huge thing, I guess, but they're going to get Dismember and Fire Spout in their hand. Guess neither of those are killing this, so that's fine. Leave this on 3. Let's always know and always yield to that. That was a good draw. I guess we're still in it. I don't do that now because they obviously still don't die. I mean, it forces them to chump with the Tribe Scout instead of a plant, but don't think that's worth it. So now they have Dismember and Fire Spout alongside Summoner's Pact. And I think I don't know the other card. It may be a land that they've bounced and we weren't paying enough I wasn't paying enough attention. But I'm not sure. So they obviously block with their plant. We just say go. They Summoner's Pact. So Fire Spout, Dismember. So opponent can get Bounce Land, Slayer Stronghold here. Yep. And then begin combat step. We're going to Reflector Mage this. Is that until my next turn? Yeah, that sucks. Maybe I don't Reflector Mage it. But if I draw another Reflector Mage, then I win. Just don't want them to be able to Titan next turn. But I could like Reflector Mage this, force them to chump with this. I feel like them just getting another trigger is just me baiting myself into making a mistake. Like, I think it's just a trap to allow my opponent more triggers here. This Oracle? Still no Dismember, Fire Spot, Prime Time. They did just... No, they bounced this and replayed it. Yeah, so I don't think I know any of the rest of the cards. Don't think there's a reason to play that. Unfortunately. Yeah, so now they get to cast Titan again, which is kind of a bummer. And they are going to get to attack with it. Yeah. Oh, they just have another Summoner's Pact? They're getting bees. Okay. Don't know how I beat bees. But we will try Botanical Sanctum. Yeah, they are playing an older list. Although I don't think it's unreasonable to be playing Botanical Sanctum right now. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting. Guess opponent might time out here. It's kind of hard to get there, but they might just attack with bees, although then they're at risk. Guess they probably just are going to attack with Titan and say no to the triggers for the rest of the game. I mean, I can block this, so yeah, okay. Sweet. Maybe it's time to cast this. Four, 6, 7. Okay. So we're dead next turn to bees. No. Yeah, it's a lot of bricks. Beeble. And we've died. To the bees. All right. Fair enough. I will see you shortly in the wrap-up.